Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and sometimes I think to myself I need to stay off of the ethers of Twitter because a whole bunch of morons on there posting a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, it's tempting, and I'm a sucker for an argument, so here I am. But in any event, I seen somebody post up something that says Swedish politician who fought for equality and open borders is beheaded in the Congo. CATALAN was a Swedish Green Party politician who believed in open borders. Now, I think I may or may not did a video about her, or at the very least, like, I got probably articles about this shit when it happened, or not too long after it happened. I think I meant to do an article, or I meant to do a video about this 2020. This happened in 2017. She went to the Congo. I guess she's a UN member. Her and another UN member went to the Congo to investigate mass graves, and subsequently her, the photographer, and the other UN member were unalived, and she was beheaded. But then I went in the comment section, there was a whole bunch of people, including Elon Musk, that says suicidal empathy is killing Western civilization. It is good to have empathy, but we cannot allow our empathy to be abused to the point of extinction. And to which I replied back to him that nobody's abusing your empathy. So she went to the Congo. Had she not went there, nobody would have abused her empathy. Matter of fact, she wasn't there to be empathetic. She was there to be investigative. However, it wasn't some one-sided thing like Elon and the rest of these racist Pete trolls on Twitter like to make it seem. They didn't kill her because she was white. Now, she's Swedish and Chilean, and I ain't even gonna lie, that kind of threw me for a loop, because how the fuck does a Swedish person and a Chilean person come together and make a kid? However, they did. And because she's like almost 40, I think she was 36 or some shit like that. Her parents probably met up around the 80s. But the story says that Swedish, Chilean, CATALAN, and American Michael Sharp were abducted and killed in Kasai region in 2017. They were investigating alleged mass graves after fighting broke out between government forces and a militia group. Their interpreter, B2 Shintela, was also killed. So an African dude was killed. I digress though. It says their bodies were found 16 days after being kidnapped. CATALAN had been beheaded. The UN was shocked by the murders at the time, and the Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the organization would do everything possible to ensure that justice was done. Hundreds of people died in a conflict in the Kasai, which ended in 2017. Over 1 million people were displaced by the fighting, which began after traditional leader Kamwina Zapu was killed in August 2016. The guilty verdict was handed down by a military court at the end of the 4-year trial. Out of the dozens of defendants, 51, almost all militia members, were sentenced to death. But as DR Congo has declared a moratorium on execution, the sentences are likely to end up being commuted to life in imprisonment. Now, from that article, you can gather that it was a conflict between the militia and the military forces, right? And hundreds of people were killed in this conflict, right? So Elon Musk and a lot of people on Twitter would have you believe that it was some type of African on European violence, right? Like they intended to kill her because she was a white woman, or a white passing woman. Slow that shit down. But in fact, they were actually, the militia people were actually displacing and killing local people, tribes people within that region. So it wasn't like it was some black on white thing. It was some black on everybody thing. We want to take over this region. So wanting to take over the region. They killed some government military men. They killed some citizens. They killed her. They killed the UN people that were there. Basically, if you were in Kasai, you was a victim. It had nothing to do with white empathy or white victimization. It had everything to do with they didn't like the people in that region. I'm assuming they wanted to take over the region. And let's just say if you wasn't a part of the militia group, you was a victim. So this narrative that racist Elon Musk and these trolls that be on Twitter be trying to kick, it's like, I bet nobody in the comment section read that article. But I do my due diligence and I look the article up to, you know what I'm saying, see if there was some meat and potatoes to it. And it wasn't. It was the fact that they were literally in a conflict, and her and the people that was with her were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Hell, even their interpreter was I'm assuming it was an African by his name. He was killed. So they was killing even Africans. It wasn't like they was just killing the white people or the American, which he sounded like he had a white name. So I'm assuming he was a white man, but it wasn't no African on white violence. It was some African on African violence, and they basically was collateral damage. In any event, if you like this episode, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.
No one's